Hey everybody, and welcome back to Crypt Monkey Paints. Today I am painting some amazing little Cthulhus. I'm sorry, these are mind flayers from dice heads, and they literally are just dice holders, and they're just the cutest little things ever. So rawr. I base coated these little guys with just some nice purpley gray kind of tones. And they have one for each dice, but I'm just going to work on these three here in front of me for today. But that's pretty much what I'm doing. I've got some greens and some whites and just colors to play with. They may not all look the same when we're done, but let's go ahead and get in and just start painting. If I can find the right hairbrush. Paintbrush. So, get the dice out of here. See if I can get mine to play here because it's not playing right for me at the moment. So I can't see any chat or anything happening. And I'm getting coffee delivered, so that's kind of awesome. Like, it's still on the starting soon for me, so hang on one second. Bye, kiddo. See if I can get there. We go. Now I have an actual proper live screen. So it was still just stuck on me. Yep. I'm good. I'm good. So, coffee and dices. And you can actually see in the little screen down at the bottom, you can see the miniatures actually printing out. And in the background, I have both of my printers going, and in the background we printed off these little guys, and they're little earthen warriors. It's a whole little tribe of guys, and it's like super, super cute. And I'll be painting these soon. Maybe next week. I think I have something bigger planned for next week, hopefully. We'll be getting one more follower, and then that will mean that we'll be doing a giveaway, or a vote for a giveaway at 50 followers. So we're getting super close. I think we need, but yeah, that is it. Okay. I think we need one more follower, and we'll do the giveaway, or the vote for the giveaway. I am totally just not talking right today. So I'm going to paint, because at least that way things will work right. Okay, so I've got, like I said, I have a base coat on him of a nice purpley kind of toned gray, and then I want to take his outfit into a nice brown color. And then I will bring over the top of that a nice shade. I say shade, but I actually mean a shade of color, not a proper shade of paint. I'm going to use a nice kind of leather brown dry brush to kind of bring this back up to a leathery look. But I always, when I'm doing leather, I like to start off with a fairly dark brown. Because I like the darker, worn, old leathers that just look like they've been beat to hell and back. But if anybody has any questions at all, feel free to pop them in Discord. Good Lord. You know what? You guys just ignore me tonight. I am apparently brain fried. But these particular models that I'm painting tonight will actually be up, or should be available for sale on our Shopify channel. Cora, you don't get to laugh at that. You always ignore me. And Ty will be putting a link in our Shopify channel so you can purchase these. There's obviously I've only got one of each, so that's all that's available at the moment. But the listing is for the minis these that I'm painting tonight. So hopefully get off center. I'm off center a little bit. Got a little puppy dog sleeping over here by my feet. Yes, I was talking about you. I don't know if you can see it or not, but these mind flayers have already drawn their first blood. One of them got me pretty good when I was cleaning them up earlier. Poor little sleepy puppy. He has been so needy today, with just wanting to play and constant attention and everything else. And even had him out in the yard and playing and trying to wear him out and get him to relax a little. But over the last day or so, he has not left someone's side. It's not necessarily always me, but he has always been underfoot for somebody at the house. I hate these little details that are so tight to get into. That's one of the reasons sometimes it's nice to have a mini that is in pieces, so you can really get every little nook and cranny. So I kind of figured, since tonight I would have an army of mind flayers against me, I kind of went a little above and beyond, doing a little bit of war paint sort of makeup on tonight, just to prepare myself for battle. Maybe scare away the mind flayers and won't have to actually battle them. So far, I think it's working because they seem to be behaving themselves, but we'll see in the long run. All right. This little belt is super hard to get to under those tentacles, but coffee now. Almost dunked that in my coffee instead. All right. So I'm just working on the 3 at a time. That way I can kind of let the paint settle between coats. I like to do that just because of my own not letting paint sit. I like to always be moving, always be doing something. So I very rarely paint one thing at a time. Unless it's large, and if it's large, then I've got plenty of other places to work on that I can kind of switch around and go back and forth on. Get my brush to behave here. Just noticed a little piece that needs to be clipped. Oh, it was already clipped. It was just stuck in there. There we go. Looks like I got a little water on top of that one. These are really simple paint jobs. It's just getting all around the nooks and crannies and making sure you've got everything covered. Well, hello, Jake. Thank you for popping in. See there. Let me get this one. Can't get the D4. See? And I just put my hand all in the wet paint. Whoops. What's I? I am making messes. Big surprise there, right? I can just absolutely tell how shocked everyone is in that I'm making a mess. So, yeah, I even managed to swipe up the back of his head, but that's okay. We can cover that with paint pretty easily. Mistakes happen. Kind of. It's a problem with being brain fried. I'm like just sitting here, not even sure what to say at the moment, so I'm just being quiet.
Almost 40 followers, that's fun.
Yes, we are almost at 40 followers. We are literally 1 follower away, and then we will vote on what we're going to do for the 50 followers giveaway. Which I did get the serpent that is on the screen at the moment in the little window. I did get that printed out. And I have to say that thing is amazing. That's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to paint that regardless. I think this one is going to go over there. I got a lot to clean up on him, but that's okay. I am actually going to get a sip of my coffee real quick. But these are actually, like I said, they're going to be a really simple paint job. It's one of those things where it's not a difficult paint. It's just I don't want to say tedious, but it's a lot of detail. All their little freckles, warts, whatever you want to call them on here. And then they have more here. They're all going to be green. So it's going to take a little while to get all of those done. And then all these skulls around the base, it's all big fat head sort of thing, or bobblehead sort of looking things. So there's a lot of detail that's not small. So it's not hard to get. It's just a lot of paint has to go down to kind of cover all of the little fiddly bits around the edges. And I decided to... Oh, that would be cool, Cora. I decided to glue them onto bases, just regular bases just so that they were going to be more sturdy or stable, I guess is a better way of phrasing that. I don't think I needed to do that, but I definitely had to sand the bottom of them. But luckily Ty has an electric sander, so it took all of 5 seconds to just bzz, and then they were flat. But in order to get a good print, my preferred angle to print is at 45 degrees. So they print, basically like this. So all of the base has supports coming off all of them. I think we probably have a sparkly pink set somewhere. And that would be phenomenal. As a matter of fact, I almost guarantee I have that, but if I don't, I will buy that. And then if anybody does purchase these, you will get the corresponding sparkly pink dye to go in the brain spot. But anyway, so I prefer to paint or print at a 45-degree angle for everything. And in order to do that, a lot of my bases end up with the... going to look for me, kid?
Yeah.
Thank you. A lot of my bases end up with the rough edges from the supports, which is normally not really a big deal. It's just one of those, I like it to be nice and clean. Yeah, actually, Jake, they're already available on the Shopify website that we have. I do not have any more than the ones that I'm painting tonight. That's what's available. So you can...
Are we gonna try to get commercialized?
Yeah, but I've reached out to Dice Heads a couple of times, but they have a very large following, so it's difficult to get responses back. But I am trying to get... I've never seen that. I've never noticed that before. But now that's all I'm ever going to see is my printer headbanging. That's kind of awesome. All right. Now for the best part, the eyeballs, which is, of course, my very favoriteest paint ever for shiny eyeballs. And this is not even paint for minis. It's a transparent airbrush color shading gray. And it's just my absolute favorite. You want shiny black eyeballs? This is the paint to get. We're going to have to find more of it soon because I use it a lot. Yeah, I just realized that. It's because my rolling chair, I scooted back and then I'm just like, oh, I'm sorry, buddy. Did I disturb your nap by moving my chair? He hates it when I roll around. He's scared to death I'm going to get his little fluffy tail. But to be fair, I wasn't actually anywhere near you. Pink sparkly dice?
They're not sparkly, but they're mottled purple and pink. It's the closest we've got, and I think they're pretty close.
All right. I don't know. We'll have to think about that. Might have to buy some. Yeah, see though, that looks better. See, that looks pretty brainy to me. The D4 is hard to see it to look brainy, but that other one does look pretty brainy. Welcome, welcome. We have been talking about doing a second stream per week. And if anybody has like a Like, this time would work better. Should it be later? Should it be earlier? I don't want to encourage this, but, you know, you got dead time during work. Maybe I should do it during the middle of the day, sort of. But no decisions have been made yet. It's still in the discussion. Because especially getting ready for conventions, I love to take... I have got to move these guys further away so I'll stop smacking them. I love to take painted minis, you know, with me to conventions, and then I just plop them up on the table and put them up for sale so I can make room to paint some more. That's the guy I knocked around. There we go. So just, you know, hey, this is what I'm painting today sort of thing would be nice. Because, I mean, I spend hours and hours and hours every week sitting at the table here painting. So it's not really all that much more to turn the cameras on, right? That does sound like fun, Jake. For those of you who don't know, that is Jake with Parlor Gaming, who writes and does Retroscape, which is an amazing, amazing game. I still have to say, the worms out of the healers, it's a little weird, man. It's a little weird, but it's fun to throw worms at people. Jake will have to explain the worm thing. I'm going to put you on the spot. All right, I am going to get my green out, and I'm going to start putting Freckles on, guys. This is just a nice jungle mist from Reaper. Just a nice, kind of soft green. Thank you, Tyler. You are the king of links.
Well, I've got to be the king of something.
So on these Freckles, dude, get out of the way. Thank you. On these Freckles, they're already shaped on there. You could technically just dry brush to get a really light coat and pop them out really quickly. I prefer doing it this way. And I won't even hit every single one. And some of them I'll add more just to make them slightly different. But doing it one by one gives me a lot more control. Now see, I'm just adding a few extra smaller ones trailing down. This is a clay working tool, but it's got a really nice little point that I use for a lot of dots. Toothpicks work really, really well as well. I just don't happen to have any sitting over here by me, and my clay tool is always by me. So it's just a matter of, what are you going for? Are you going for this paint job to be over, or are you going for this is fun and I enjoy doing it? You know, if you're trying to get finished quickly, then dry brush is your way to go. But I mean, it's Freckles on a mind flare. I'm going with this is fun. Not technically Freckles. I guess it's more like scales.
Disfigured bumps.
Disfigured bumps. Freckles. Ew, no, not pimples. No. I know it's just the start of the week, but how's everybody's week going so far? Hi, Max. Yeah, I think I'm okay with this pink for the brain color. I think it does work. Dumb house contraptions. Everything is like bumping into me. Ty, can you give me a tray over here where I can put my brushes, please? I'm sorry. Like I don't know why I'm so knocking into everything today. A t-shirt folding apparatus. You know that's called arms, right? Just done. No. I think I know what you're talking about, but never used one.
I've never heard of that.
Jake, I think you're going to have to put pictures of that in Discord. That's funny. Way too big of a dot there. Need one more follower for that vote, guys. Got to make Ty work. He's just sitting over there smiling and laughing and enjoying chat. Boy needs a job. You got to figure that out. Get the poll together. No, that's your job, man, not mine.
Kidding, right? Okay, just
I found a sample one you could use, but you got to get it together. All right, I am going to call Freckle Mixer done. I'm going to get some freckles on the next one. But you see what I mean of like, there's a lot of detail to do, but it's all large detail, so it's fairly simple. And it could be done in a much faster way than I'm doing it. I spent so much of my life thinking that I wasn't good at art and that I couldn't draw and I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that. I couldn't do any of those things. And it took me a long time to realize that It's not that I'm bad at them, I'm slow at them. And there's a huge difference in that. And, I see all these people that just like pull out a piece of paper and there's a magnificent piece of art on it, because I blinked and they finished it. But just because something takes me longer doesn't mean that I'm any worse at it or better at it than them. So stopping comparing myself and enjoying the fact that, I enjoy doing this and people enjoy watching me do it and enjoy the things that I produce, it means a ton, But it also is something that I think a lot of people discredit what they can do based on the fact that they are comparing it themselves to other people. And I think comparison is good for a learning tool, but not a deciding factor of should I or shouldn't I. Because when it comes to art, the answer is yes, you should. In some way, some form, art is a yes. I mean, my kids used to, cry when I would sing to them because my singing voice is... But it doesn't stop me from singing because it feels good, right? Everybody enjoys singing. I am completely and utterly tone deaf, but doesn't stop it from feeling good. I just turn the radio up to where I can't hear myself. And it doesn't hurt my ears either. And Ty will attest to this. I can't dance worth crap. But I constantly try. So. All right. I'm done preaching. No, I'm not. Make sure you create something this week. Just one thing. Doesn't matter what it is. Everybody has homework. Ty, why don't you put a link in Discord? Or link to Discord. That way everyone can post pictures in our Discord of what they made this week. And you will be grounded if you do not submit your homework on time. Yes, that counts, Cora. I'll tell you what, if we get at least 10 posts in Discord this week of something someone has, or different things that people have created, 10 different people, I will do an extra mini giveaway next week. It will be a surprise mini, but the winner will decide whether or not I paint it or I simply send it to them to paint. That will be completely up to the winner of the mini. But I'll literally draw a name from the people that are live on the show with us next week. You can decide right then and there whether I'm going to paint it or just ship it. I am happy to ship it and let you paint it. And yes, I already know what I'm going to do. But I'm not going to share because I like surprises. But I have to have at least 10 people post in Discord something that they have created this week. I'm just freckling this whole time too while we're jabbering. Oops, I missed the top of his head. And feel free to share with your friends if we're getting close to the end of the week. And I'll call the end of the week Sunday. And I won't put a time frame on Sunday. Just, before you go to bed Sunday, I'll check Monday morning to make sure that I've got 10 different posts. But if, you don't see enough posts in there, get your friends, make them make something, post a picture. And it absolutely has no restriction. It's whatever anybody feels like making. I will say, though, if you decide to create something with food, make sure you post a recipe with it. Because I like some food. I love cooking. Okay. Freckles are all done. So I think I'm going to do another quick little layer on the eyeballs. And then I think I'm going to get a base coat going. And I know these eyeballs kind of look sloppy, but I'm going to come back around and kind of like do an eyeliner kind of thing with the color of the skin. But I think I'm going to go over the skulls and get a nice base coat on the skulls going real quick too, so we can come back and dry brush those soon. All right, we're up to 2. Nice job. Oops, wrong paint. There we go. Oh, that would be a good thing. Jake was saying that you should probably mention it in Discord so that people in...
I was just about to start explaining what's happening.
Oh, okay, cool. He was just getting ready to. I don't like that brush. I don't know why I can't... I'm stop putting it on my thing. That brush is pissing me off. I don't know about any of you, the rest of you, but I go around and I just do this to the top of my brushes to kind of decide which one I want to use for a certain job. It's like I want to make sure that it's got the firmness that I want depending on what I'm doing. Most of the time I want things to kind of fade away. So for these, I'm going to use the skulls. I'm going to use dead flesh and bleached linen and kind of mix these up. Well, I know you do it, Cora. That doesn't really count. You're copying me, you goober. It's like whenever I started learning how to do makeup and my mom would be doing her makeup, and when she'd go to do her eyes, she'd always stick her tongue out. And to this day, I stick my tongue out when I'm doing my eye makeup. I cannot help myself. So I'm just kind of mixing these 2 colors together because I didn't really have anything that was the exact shade. I didn't want a bright white. I want a dry brush with the lighter white. But I didn't want, I just didn't have any color that was like striking me with, that's the color I should use today. So I'm just going to mix one. And this is where a wet palette really comes in beneficial if you're going to be mixing a lot of colors that are kind of unique for what you're doing. Having a wet palette out is a pretty good idea. But this isn't going to dry in the time it's going to take me to do these. He's so cute with his freckles. Dice Head has some really amazing models. I'm a real big fan. They've got a lot of creepy things that are bobblehead sort of looks. Like this, and most of their aesthetic is like a bobblehead sort of look. But it's just, it's so cute. They even have the next dice holder that I'm going to print. Like this is actually they call it a dragon, but it's more like a hydra, I guess, because it's got 7 heads, because it's 1 head for each dice. So it's this big, big giant dragon that'll hold all your dice in front of you. Which seems like a little bit much at like a gaming table at a convention or something. But I definitely can have it sitting in front of me on my, gaming table downstairs. Oh. For those of you who don't know, Max is completely awesome and let us stay with them when we were at Can'tCon. And their pets is 1 dog and 1 cat, and completely like the dog thinks he's a cat and the cat thinks she's a dog. It is the funniest thing, and I love them both. And I miss them dearly. I need to come visit your pets. Of course, it was also a lot of fun sitting and painting with Max at Can'tCon. It was funny because even when you were sitting over with Jake, I would look over and see you painting, and then it was just like, hey, we're still painting together. You're a mile away, but it's fine. Aw. Yeah, that's true. It was, cons always have that lull when everyone is in session and everything else. So the vendor tables kind of go dead. And that's when vendors, as a group, we kind of take a break to get ourselves reorganized, straighten up the table, get food when we need food, do all those kind of little things that we need to do. But me, Max, and Cora basically took those opportunities to just stick our heads down and really start going at the painting. Because when you're painting at the vendor table, we have to constantly okay, go back. Okay, go back. And one of the bad things that kept happening to me was I would look up and check nobody's there, and then I would look back down, and I swear it was like 2 seconds later, I would look up, and there were like 3 or 4 people right there in front of me. I'm like, people were like just teleporting over to the table. It scared the hell out of me constantly. I completely missed that conversation, so thank you, Jake, for taking care of that for me. Sorry, I'm like trying to halfway read through the chat. It's difficult to keep up when you guys really get going. But that's okay. Oh. Okay, Max, I think I'm going to make you tell that story. And I do plan on bringing bread with me to Midwest, because I don't think we're going to see was it JTR? Is that right? I feel like I'm saying the initials wrong. JTP, thank you. I knew I was saying something wrong.
It's GTR, that's our Jack.
I know, that's why I'm like, no, that's not right. That's not right. Max says you should tell it, Ty. Do you remember the bread thief thing?
No.
You don't? Oh my gosh, how did you forget that? So the way our vendor booths were set up, Ty,
Go ahead.
if you would prefer to tell it, Jake, that's fine.
I think you should tell it.
Okay, I'll tell it. So basically, our vendor booths were set up to where we had 2 tables and Jake has 2 tables and he was down the line from us. And then JTP was set up in the booth behind us, or behind Jake rather. And it was just like a curtain between Jake and JTP. So he's a really sweet guy. Love him. Yeah. No, I was the right side. I just made a mistake. But I was defending a poor defenseless old man, so. But anyway, so I look over and Jake has this shitty grin on his face and he's holding a piece of bread and eating it like a squirrel with a shit-eating grin, okay? So like he just got caught doing something is the look he had on his face. And so I'm like, okay, I don't really understand what's happening. And to be fair, it's not like a little tiny piece of bread. It looks like a Subway sandwich, half of it, okay? It's a big chunk of bread that I thought was actually a sandwich at the time. Oh, thank you, Jake. So then I look over kind of like behind the curtain and I can see JTP sitting with his back to Jake and a Ziploc bag with like the other, what to me I thought was the other part of the sandwich sitting there. And he's like eating a piece, but he's looking with his back to Jake. So it's like, to me, it looked like Jake had reached through the curtain, grabbed some of his sandwich, and was sitting there eating it like a little shit. So I looked back over at Jake, and then I looked back over, I like tucked my head back through, and I asked JTP, like, did he just steal your sandwich? And that like started this whole thing where he was messing with him about stealing his bread the rest of the weekend. But to me, it really did look like Jake had stolen his sandwich. I didn't understand what the hell had happened. But you can't grin evilly with something in your hand at a mother because she's automatically going to assume you stole it. So that's the right side of the story. Or my side. However you want to call it. That wasn't a happy grin, Jake. That was an evil, look what I have now, look what I got, look what I took grin. All children do. Or at least my children guarantee do. They got that from their father. Hey, is the sound better this week, guys? I hadn't even asked yet. I'm sorry. I'm just painting skulls. Yeah. He's talking every now and again, but when he does talk, I kind of repeat what he's saying.
I don't have a mic.
Yeah, no. Basically, we took his mic and put it over here in front of me so that I can sound better, because you don't need to hear him right now. You'll hear him in the future. Speaking of which, do we have any dates? Boys, boys, boys. All right. Base coat done on skulls. And only 7:30. So far we have Freckles done. We have base coats done. It really is time to clean up and time to do a little more details. So what I did for... Yeah, that's true, Jake. What I did for their base color was this somber gray and Sorcerer's Mist, and it was pretty much equal parts. But this time, because I'm coming back over and doing more details, I want to bring it up a notch higher than what I had it before. So I'm not really going to do an equal mix again. I'm going to do a little bit more of my Sorcerer's Mist just to make it a slightly brighter purple. So it's almost like doing a layer highlights as well as cleaning up the edges that I need to clean up. I am almost out of my somber gray. Oh, come on. Come on, baby, you can do it. I can feel it in there. It's just getting thick. I can definitely tell that I have not painted. I hadn't painted in a while. And then I started painting heavily again. And I was like, I'm not going to buy any new paints until I go through all my old paints. That didn't last. I started buying new paints. And I'm already running into, okay, I need to replace some older paints too, because I'm now running out of those. But that's never a bad thing to bring new colors into the house. All right. So this is just a little bit brighter. And I just used my clay tool, the other end of it, to clean that up. So this one's just a little bit brighter than what I was working with before. And I'm going to use a fairly small brush. Sorry, I'm reading. Oh, that's not fun. I hate those wait times. I am going in to clean up things and put kind of highlights as I'm working. So I'm going to use a fairly small detailed brush to be able to really get a lot of control. Yeah, the only problem with me hinting, Jake, is I don't know how far I can hint versus when I should shut up.
Do you want me to blab?
I would love you to.
Okay. I'm just going to blab and probably say too much. So Jake and I are working on a show right now for tabletop role players. It's going to be called Gamers in the Unknown. And we're going to talk to you about paranormal things like Bigfoot and aliens and haunted houses and things like that. And then the whole point of the show is we will actually, towards the end of the show, give game masters assets, resources that they can use for their own games. So if you're interested in how you can use the Loch Ness Monster in your tabletop role-playing game, then we'll give you some ideas that can help you along the way. But that's coming soon.
Yes. So I can't wait for them to start because it's going to be amazing and awesome and so freaking much fun. One of the more fun parts for me is when they decide on what creature they're going to use that particular time. My plan is to paint that creature ahead of time so that they've got a painted model to sit with them while they're discussing and debating and arguing and killing people with stats. Oh, okay. I was like, wait, did I miss part of a conversation? I was like, I'd stopped painting because I was reading chat, trying to figure out what we were talking about. But yeah, no, I love that idea of giving away the minis too. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but my dog is over on the couch having a scratching fit on his ear. All I can hear right now is him panting about his damn ear. Poor buddy. Cora at this point is the only one that can clean his ear. So now you can see what I mean with like the idea of doing eyeliner. So basically just went around the eyeball and kind of cleaned up any mess that I made. And then plus adding these swipes of this lighter layer right here on the high spots of the face. It's a very, very subtle difference. And it's not necessarily even something that you would notice immediately. You may never notice it. But sometimes those things that you never notice are the things that make the mini pop completely in the first place. It's that, you miss something if it isn't there, but you don't notice it when it is there. So, just kind of going over the higher spots. And because it's such a subtle difference in the color, it'll fade in really, really nicely. But I'm trying to use it to clean up spots and then also give highlights on certain spots. I had one that I was painting to kind of test my colors to see if I liked the way everything was looking. And unfortunately, he died a horrible death. While we were setting up, he got caught on Ty's shirt and he fell to the ground. And he lost his head. It's okay. All right. I don't know if I have a setting on or something, but are you guys typing stars or am I just seeing that because I've got some sort of setting blocking cussing? Like Max has 4 stars is all I see.
Maybe it's a setting. It has LMAO. Laugh my ass off.
That's so weird. Okay, I'm going to have to fix that before the next stream. I'm like, there's a couple that Max did and I say it's... Yeah, that's okay. We're going to have to fix that.
I didn't know what you were talking about.
Well, it literally, like right now, it's... And then like 7 stars is a comment that Max made. Earlier, I saw something Jake said and it had stars in it. And I wasn't really paying all that much attention. And then like the more conversations happening, the more stars I'm getting. I'm like, okay. Oh, did you come decide to lay down next to me again? Yes. Hello, baby. You can hear him plopping down, plop, getting up and plopping down, getting up and plopping down. He is just not comfy. And also, don't forget these particular ones that I'm painting will be available or are available for sale on our Shopify. And you will be buying the ones based on what you pick because they're each individual. But, like this is the D6. So if you purchase the D6, this is the one you're getting. It's the one I'm painting right this second. And you will get the brain dice with it. Because Lulu did find us a pretty good brain color. Sorry for... Lulu is also Cora. I call them Lulu, I call them Cora, I call them Jackass, call them Button. You've got like 50 nicknames. Poor kid. Are you going to find him because I said so? Oh, no, you're going over to Daddy, huh? Another little piece back here. Not quite sitting in the right spot. What's up, Fluffy Butt? What's up? What's wrong? Well, come here. I have no idea what you want, my man. Looks at me and snarfs at me, and then turns to Daddy and looks at Daddy and snarfs at him. I'm like, I don't know what you want. Oh, I think he does want outside. He's going to keep us safe, and he'll guard the yard for us. Oh, don't you steal his puppy. That's mean, Cora.
I'm stealing his puppy.
Oh, that's so mean. They stole his puppy. And he's barking at something in the yard. It's okay. It keeps us safe. He's a big, tough boy. I'm sorry. I was completely had that off camera. I wasn't even paying attention. All right. So I have this color. Where's my coffee? I have this color from the Army Painter's War Paint that is a metallic. That is called Evil Chrome. And I thought because, it's Evil Chrome, it's the perfect color to be the belt buckle, which is not going to be easy to get on camera. It's that one. Because it's in such an awkward position. Like I have to go up and underneath his tentacles to get that piece. So between showing you and being able to see what I can do or see what I'm doing, but I thought it'd be nice to have a little shine in there. Cora, I assume you were talking about something that's in Discord? Okay, that's one. I'm literally just patting. Not even doing like a proper brush stroke. I'm just tapping my brush on like this to get it on there. Oh, the big googly eyes. Yes, that is definitely a soft spot. All right. Belt buckles. Yes, chibi babies. Belt buckles are colored. Gotta pop the hands. I think I'm gonna do the leather dry brushing now. Let's see. I think I'll use this Zandel. No, I will not. That needs massive shaking, and I don't feel like doing that right now. So I'm just trying to find, I know I have a leather color, but sometimes it's difficult to find in this wall of paint behind me. Might just use my desert stone instead. It's kind of funny. Oh, here's my leather brown. Perfect. It's kind of funny how you have a certain amount of, you've got all these paint, but then you have certain ones that are just your go-to colors that you constantly use. And those are usually, for me, the ones that are clogged up as well. There we go. What?
4 posts is what Jake is playing.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so that's awesome. I will count if Cora puts something in, but they will not be eligible for the giveaway, and neither will Izumi if she's on there. I love you, my babies, but that's not fair. So now I'm just going to get my dry brush. And for leather, I kind of like to leave it looking worn, I guess. And what I'll end up doing is I'll come back over this with a shade, and it'll tone these really brights. It'll tone them down. Well, I just love that there's that many posts already of people creating things. That's awesome.
One is a mobile dark room.
Ooh, that's awesome. Oh,
They probably can't hear me.
Ty was just saying how one of them's a mobile dark room.
That's pretty neat.
There is Izumi. Yeah, fair's fair, Bellowell. I'm sorry, but if you're my kid, you cannot be eligible for any giveaways. Even your brother would not be eligible, and he's not even in the state. Besides, you can just come over and I'll print it for you anyway. Okay. So, dry brushing is done on that one. And I'm getting my coffee again, which my lovely Izumi made for me. And she made it perfect, as always.
They're trying to make Jake not eligible.
Okay. My naturally born children are not eligible. My adopted children are eligible. Oh, you're right. It is. But you know what? My adopted children did not give me stretch marks. Because, everybody on watching the stream definitely wanted to know that information. Yes, you gave me candles. Oh, is that bat still sitting over here, Ty, on the peninsula?
Yes.
Oh, this thing is so cool. So Cora made me some wax melts, but this is by far my favorite one. Hopefully it's focused. I can't tell.
It's not hard focused anymore.
Yeah. Okay. So I absolutely love this thing. He is creepy. He is awesome. I also want one made out of. Yes. I also want one of these made out of resin so that I can put it in my hair. Yes, this is true. Brothers who put me on their shoulders and rode around on their unicycle are eligible. That is not favoritism. That is just payback for getting to ride on your shoulders, bouncing up and off curbs. In the parking lot, yes. I'm assuming the mobile dark room was yours. Isabella, I'm not going to make everybody else ineligible because you're pissed off. Again, you just have to come over and I'll print the damn thing for you. You just want to be able to say you win. Oh, what a dork. Anyway, it's completely open to anything anybody wants to create. It can be written, it can be a picture, it can be food, it literally any medium whatsoever. If it's a creation, it's a creation. I have no set rules. Except for the fact that Isabella is the only one that's not eligible now. Cora, you're now eligible. All right. Now some white. And I'm going to use the same dry brush. I'm going to go over the skulls, but I don't mind having a little bit of this brown still in my brush, because it'll just add to the weathered look on the skulls. A little too much in there still. And these skulls are going to take a few different coats of the dry brushing. Because as you can see, they're brighter white, but they're not nearly as sun bleached as I want them to look. So what I'll do is I'll keep coming around. You know, I'll do a coat on this one, and then I'll go to the next one and do a coat on the next one, and just kind of keep going around between the three and getting dry brushing done. Oh, and Cora, just so you know, the one that I'm going to give away is the one that I showed you earlier downstairs. Yeah, that one.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. I almost wanted to I almost second guessed myself about painting these tonight and almost painted that one instead. It is phenomenal. I love, love, love this model. Okay. So it looks like we've got a couple minutes left, right? We ended 8.
We can't end at 8. It's 4 minutes.
Okay.
4 minutes till 8.
I mean, that's the normal time we're supposed to finish at 8. Okay, just making sure. So I'm going to actually stop on the dry brushing on the white because I do have this actual dry brush that is a purple. And I wanted to kind of touch on the dry brush on that. Yeah, it's a really fun model, and I really can't wait. So basically, I'm just going to take this lilac, something lilac, I can't quite read it. Izzy, for a Cthulhu, you're going to have to wait a while because that thing is huge. It takes days and days and days to print that. And for this purple dry brush, I'm just going to go kind of around my favorite parts to really kind of pop those lines out. My favorite part being the big chibi eyes. I wish these would stay open better. But you can see how that black stayed shiny. And they won't, even if I sprayed this with a matte finish, they would still stay shiny. I love, love, love that about these. About that black paint. A little too much right there. And then I also have Hi, Colleen. I also have this Helion green that I want to use for the spots, but I don't think I'm going to be able to really get it to dry brush the way I want it to, but I'm going to try it. Let's see. We're going to use this brush over here. It is nice and tough. But what I might end up having to do, because dry brushing on Freckles is not really a thing, but what I might end up doing is just Yeah, that's not really working. Taking the same green that I painted the freckles with and doing a white with that, and then going back over with the same freckles just with a tiny little dot. Yeah, that's not going to work. So we're going to do it that way instead. So I'll use that same green and go back over it again. But you can see I've just barely tipped with a little bit of the purple. Then I'm going to take my brown my brown wash when I find it. That's my red. There it is. And I'll go back over his leather. I use this one just to tone down so that it makes, not really tone down, but brings all those colors back down together, basically. Big fat brush, feel like it's in the way of the camera. Colleen would be eligible to win. Not you, though, is he? I'm just going to keep rubbing that in. But Colleen has to submit something that she has created. No, Cora, I think I'm going to leave the dice socket alone. That way, people don't want, like I said, I'll have the right dice in there. I'll have the dice in there, but I'm going to leave it plain. So, because it honestly is kind of a perfect fit. You can kind of see they all slide in and out really, really well. So I don't really want to mess with that particular spot at all. On Discord, kiddo, there's, I think we're just using the main channel. Is that what we're using, baby? Yeah, the welcome channel. Just right there, pictures of what she's made. If she cooks something, though, the recipe has to be included because I want to copy it because I always like cooking new things. But basically, that is it for tonight. I'll finish these guys up. But again, these are all going to be, they are available for sale. I only have one of each dice available. You can get them on our Shopify. Excuse me. If we have 10 people submit photos of things that they have created this week on our Discord channel, next week on our painting show, I will be giving away a surprise mini. Surprise to you guys, not to me. But I will let you know it is not a small mini. It's a very cool mini.
Is it a biggie?
It's a biggie. It's a big one. And it's spectacularly beautiful. Photography is allowed as long as you took the photo. But it's really all about it's homework for everybody to go out and just be inspired to create something. Just be creative for 5 seconds this week, just because it's good for the soul. It really is. So that's really all it is about. I always have an evil smile, but I'm pretty sure I got that from my older brother, Keith. not naming any names or anything. But anyway, Discord channel is in there. Ty, you put the Shopify link in there.
I can put it again right now.
If you wouldn't mind putting it again right now. We again are 1 follower away from voting for the 50 giveaway, the 50 follower giveaway. So we are like literally right there. We'll do that vote as soon as we hit 40, which, unless we get 1 more follower right now, it looks like it'll probably be on the next show as well. So the next show will be jam-packed full of, this is what everyone did this week, and this is the giveaway we're doing for that. The person will need to be present to win. We'll pull from the people that are online with us at the time in the chat. And we will hopefully be doing the vote as well. So yes, Isabella, actually, if you buy say that you wanted the D6, the one that holds the D6, if you go on and buy that, this D6 will actually come with it because it looks like a brain. So why not? So if you buy one of these dice heads, the dice will come with it. So, but I think that is going to be it for tonight, guys. I had a great show. Thank you guys. I'm reading chat. Sorry. Thank you guys so much for being so chatty. I love it when you guys talk and talk and talk. It's so much fun for me. It really is. I greatly appreciate it. And also in Discord, if we have a painting channel and a 3D printing channel, so absolutely feel free to get in there and jabber absolutely nonstop. I love it. Ty and I are both always on Discord, and Jake's always on too. So Cora is too. But there's plenty of stuff to talk about and show, and we'll chat soon. Bye, guys.